Hey, what is up guys? This is Mr. 008 here, and today I have for you episode number 11 of my Let's Play Bloons Tower Defense 6 series. So, something I just noticed that does not relate to the content of the video that much is that when you switch from hero to hero on this menu, the backdrop color changes. So that's quite interesting. We're going to be using Gwendolin today, and we are going to be trying to beat Chimps on Monkey Meadow. This is generally the hardest mode in the game, however some people do argue that half cash is more difficult, which is a logical conclusion to make as well. At least if you're not using things like powers and insta-monkeys and all that, and double cash mode, things like that. Because if you do use things like that, then it's not hard at all. But if we're playing without any of that external assistance, then half cash may be harder than Chimps mode. But we are going to be taking on Chimps mode today. We did half cash mode in the last episode. Finished with 4 lives at the end, but that's okay. And that's one of the things that could be used as an argument that Chimps mode is harder than half cash, that you only get 1 life, but in half cash mode you get 100 lives. So we're going to be saving for Gwendolin here. Hopefully we don't need to get any more towers, because the sooner we get our hero, the better. It looks like we will need to get another Dart Monkey there at least, because a Bloon would have leaked otherwise. So, another thing that makes Chimps mode harder is that you start on round 6, so you get less of an opportunity to build up money at the start of the game. So, with that being said, I think that is one of the things that is most notable as far as making Chimps the harder game mode. So I'm going to put Gwendolin here. I want to see if I can sneak in another tag shooter or maybe an ice monkey or something like that later on. Because Embrittlement is one of my favorite upgrades in the whole game, especially for later on. And it's good with the tax zone as well. So I'm not sure exactly what strategy I'm going to go for later. I'm probably going to get the tax zone though, because that is one of the best tier 5 towers in the game. Good news, we can fit an ice monkey there. You cannot sell in Chimps mode, so if you make a mistake with tower placement, you have no way to correct it without restarting the entire game. So I'm going to upgrade this a little bit because these Bloons are getting a little bit far. Not crazy far, but I still don't like how far they're getting. So we are on round 17 now, and yeah, we're just going to keep saving up. The first camo Bloon is on round 24. We can simply get a 002 Dart Monkey for that. It's probably what we will get. And I would like to eventually get a 420 Monkey Village though, for primary mentoring, extra range, pierce, and things like that, projectile speed, good buffs like that for our primary towers, which will include the tack shooter and ice monkey obviously.
Oh yeah!
So let's also get the tack sprayer here, and hopefully we're fine here. Looks like we are. Should probably get some kind of cleanup as well. Let's upgrade that Dart Monkey right there. So yeah, I might get Overdrive next, but after that we definitely want to get a village for camo detection and some other things. And another great thing about Embrittlement is that it allows the towers that are attacking the Bloons that the tower debuffs to be damaged and popped by all projectile types. So even though the Bloons are frozen, it won't matter that these are sharp projectiles attacks. And it also will help us against DDTs after, like in the late game, starting on round 90. Because there are 4 rounds on which we will have to deal with DDTs as well. So let's see if we can get this village up. Although Camo Bloons may be coming next round. I forget exactly when they come. So it's not this round, but it is quite soon. I remember there was a round with a lot of Camo Reds and a few Camo Yellows in the backdrop as well. So let's get a Crossbow Monkey here and see if this is good enough. Give it the attack speed buffs as well. From that upgrade, or those upgrades I should say. Okay, Gwendolin leveled up again. She is level 7 now. And that heated up buff is definitely nice as well, because it will help us against DDTs especially as well, because the projectiles will be hot, so they'll be able to pop lead balloons. DDTs are a type of lead balloon. Despite being a Moab class balloon, they also have both lead and black properties, so they're immune to explosive attacks as well as anything sharp. So that makes them tough to deal with as well. So that's going to be helpful. The heated up ability, that is. So, thinking of whether I should get an Alchemist or a Ice Monkey next. I'm going to go for the Alchemist now, because okay, we won't be able to put it in range of the village, but that's okay. I just want to make sure that's only buffing the attack shooter, because that's the main tower we want to benefit here, because the Crossbow Monkey is okay for cleanup and support and all that, but it's not our main source of DPS or anything like that. So I'm going to get an Ice Monkey here as well. And yeah, looked like we were struggling a little bit with that Moab early on, but we did end up popping it, so that's good. Let's also get the stronger stimulant so that it lasts longer and further buffs the pierce, and we'll also get faster throwing. Awesome. The cross paths, both of the cross paths for the top path Alchemist are useful for different things, but generally speaking, you want to get 401 if you're buffing towers that attack fast, whereas if you're buffing more towers at a time, you would want to go for the middle cross path, because even though it wouldn't apply the buffs as fast, each buff would last longer. That's what I believe to be the case as for which cross path is better. So now we have primary mentoring for the increased range and projectile speed and all of that, and I'm going to save up for an embrittlement now. Ice Shards are pretty good, especially because they increase the attack range and they shoot out like lots of shards that can pop tons of Bloons. Not every attack shoots out shards, but let me read the description because I'm not too familiar with this upgrade. Okay, so when frozen Bloons pop, that's when the shards will shoot out and damage surrounding Bloons. So there's the embrittlement. Let's get enhanced freeze and deep freeze for the increased attack speed, and so that it affects more layers. I'm not sure if deep freeze is too necessary, but I definitely want that attack speed bonus. So we may be in a situation where we are okay to save up for the attack zone now. I'm not certain of that, but let's see if we can do it. And we have money to spare if we need to buy anything else in the meantime. So this is round 50, and after this round, the income that you get from each balloon decreases significantly. I think you only make like 50-60% of the cash per pop that you would make before that. And one of the other things about Chimps mode is that you cannot get any extra lives, and that also applies to Unpoppable mode as well. Like if I were to get a support Chinook, for example, and get the crate that gives extra cash and extra lives, on Unpoppable mode I would get the cash but not the lives. And on Chimps mode I would not get any cash or lives. So support Chinook is near useless in Chimps mode. You can still move your towers with it, especially because you can't sell, but you can't get any cash or any lives from it. Other things also that increase the amount of money you make will not increase the amount of money you make. So rubber to gold, opens wall of trees, bloom traps from engineers, any kind of abilities like the supply drop for the sniper, and pretty much anything else that will, or that would normally make you money, and even passive buffs. There's our tax zone, by the way. Even passive buffs like the Monkey Town Village for plus 50% cash from all pops does not make you any money in Chimps mode. So those things are like things that you do not want to waste your money on because of how limited it is, and that's one of the things that further limits it, is that you can't sell and you can't get income from any other source. So you can only get the normal amount of money that you would get by popping the Bloons. So we're almost around 63, which has 3 big ceramic rushes. We can get a Warglaves or a Recursive Cluster or something else if we need to, but I don't think we will need to. Yep, tax zone has it taken care of. That's nice. So let's check Gwendolin now. She's at level 11. I believe at one of her upcoming levels she has a buff to heat it up, which increases damage to lead Bloons, and her main attack as well as her abilities will be able to pop purple Bloons not too far in the future, which will help a little bit. I don't think it'll be like absolutely necessary, but it will help a little bit at least on round 95, for example. But then again, on round 95 the DVTs don't come out until the Camgrow purples and Camgrow fortified leads stop coming out, so it's not like they'll all be coming out at the same time. But also around 78 when the purples come out at the same time as the 75 camo ceramics at the end of the round. So we now have nearly $15,000 saved up, and I am thinking about getting a super brittle, to be honest. The embrittlement is good, but super brittle is even better, so I'm thinking of getting that, and I think it would be good, especially against DVTs, because it will increase its damage bonus from either +1 or +2. For the embrittlement, I think it's +1, and that'll go all the way up to +5 with the super brittle. So we're on around 70 right now. We still have a little while to take advantage of the Bloons and build up our income. So super brittle, I believe, will help us, but I don't know if it's the most practical tower out there. So we'll see what we can get. Yeah, we're almost there. And I'm thinking of maybe also getting something like a Sun Avatar in this game, because Sun Avatars are great with bloom popping power, but they're also pretty decent against Moabs, and when we get that extra range and pierce from the middle cross path, that will help us out substantially. But then again, I think that the Dark Knight would be better, because Honestly, I think my bloom popping power is fine as it is with this tax zone, especially because of the primary training buff. So, we have about $3,000 to go, then we can get a super brittle, and I'm going to experiment. I'm going to see if it's worth it or not. I'm hoping to win this game, and I think we shouldn't run into any issues. So there's the super brittle right there. Round 76 is a joke compared to my defense right now. So that regrow ceramic rush, like, can't do anything to me right now. So I'm going to let's put this right here, a super monkey, and get it up to a dark knight, because it's pretty substantial Moab class bloom damage, and hopefully that will help us out as much as I think it will, especially with the super brittle right there, because the super brittle debuff applies on Bloons. It does not buff your towers, it debuffs Bloons, which means that no matter which tower is attacking the debuffed Bloon, it will take extra damage. And it also does not matter what kind of projectiles it shoots. If sharp attacks or blades or anything else similar are hitting an embrittled DDT, even though it has lead properties, it will still take heavy damage from those projectiles. So it's a very helpful upgrade in that regard. And it attacks fast and has some modest range thanks to those village buffs and the ice shard upgrade as well. So here's the ZOMG for round 80, and it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Let's check out the DPS from this tax zone. It is quite powerful, and that's good for us. So round 81 is where things start to change a little bit. There are not as many Bloons that spawn from each Moab. Each Moab still spawns 4 ceramics, however each ceramic will now only spawn 1 rainbow bloom instead of 2. And each rainbow only spawns 1 zebra, which spawns 1 black bloom and 1 white bloom, each of which spawn 1 pink bloom instead of 2. But that is to reduce lag. Something else is more difficult. The ceramic Bloons at this point are now super ceramics, and their hit points are 6 times what they normally are. Regular ceramic Bloons now have 60 health instead of 10, and fortified ceramics now have 120 health instead of the usual 20. So that is definitely a game changer. In terms of which types of towers are most effective at this point in the game. Towers that are great for bloom popping, like more glaives and recursive cluster, are not as useful at this point in the game because of super ceramics having more health but less children spawned from them. So because of that, different types of towers would be more useful now than compared to before. And towers that are damage oriented rather than pierce oriented are more helpful now than they would have been in the early game. So this round 87, has 4 ZOMGs, I think. I thought it had 5 though, but I only saw 4 spawn there. So we're about to get our 3rd Dark Knight, and that will help us out. DDTs are 2 rounds away. Round 90 spawns 3 DDTs, each of which have the same health as a fortified Moab. And they move as fast, or nearly as fast, as pink Bloons. And they have camo, lead, and black properties. But those won't be an issue because of our super brittle and our village. Also, embrittlement removes camo and regrow properties from all bloom types. when the Ice Monkey with that upgrade or its stronger counterpart, the Super Brittle, attacks said Bloons. So we're now in round 92. Round 93 has 6 DDTs. Round 95 has 30, I believe, at least 24. But I think it has more than that. But seeing how easy round 93 was, we should not have a problem at all for round 95. So this is the 7th to last round for this game, and I don't think we'll have any issues whatsoever for this. Here comes round 95 with the Bloons I was talking about earlier at the start of the round, and they'll stop spawning in soon, and then the DDTs will come in. Rounds 96 and 98 are very Bloon dense. They have lots of ZOMGs and BFBs, but no DDTs. Round 97 is 2 fortified ZOMGs. That's the only round that is part of a normal game mode and isn't entirely free play, that has fortified ZOMGs. And then there is round 99, which has 9 fortified DDTs, each with a little bit over 800 hit points. The normal health without the ramping that happens with Mountain Class Bloons after round 80 would be 800, but because of the ramping, it's a little bit higher than that. And then there's of course the bad balloon, which would be 20,000 health without ramping, but because of the ramping, okay, we have a little bit of a problem here. I'm thinking what I should get to fix this. First I'm going to use Firestorm, and then I'm going to get a couple of recursive clusters here. Okay, that was a little bit unexpected, we'll say, but I made sure not to panic and just got what I needed to get in order to save myself that round. Here's round 100. I would like to talk a little bit more about Bloon ramping, but that's the end of that game, so maybe I'll talk about that more next episode. There's our Insta Monkey for beating round 100, a 110 monkey sub, which is good to upgrade into a 420 reactor eventually. Thank you all for watching. That was Chimps mode on Monkey Meadow. Our Monkey Star is the attack zone, getting nearly 70% of all the pops in that game, or maybe, yeah, almost 70%, not quite 70%. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more interesting content. More Let's Play will be coming soon for this game, and maybe we'll try another map next time, or go late game, just free play for a while, or experiment with the challenge editor or something else perhaps. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll talk to you all again in the next episode. Peace out.